Once upon a time, two boys grew up playing hockey in the village of Terrace, British Columbia. One of them went on to play in the National Hockey League. The other became a comedian. Now, one flies planes and coaches youth hockey. The other is still a comedian and owns newsstands. This is their podcast, Enjoying Orange Slices with Jeff and Ian.
And recording in progress, and two fellas are in the same room.
Yeah.
My God.
We are doing our first ever show. I kind of feel like Bob and Doug McKenzie right now. We're up in the Great White North. First time. We're international again, even though Ian and I are from Canada, right? We've done it in 4 countries. Mexico, the U.S., Canada, and Virginia.
And Virginia, the Republic of Virginia. So we are in Terrace. We haven't done a show since, I think we did it, last show was before the cup was given away.
Yeah.
We just kind of gave up for a while, but we said, hey, we're back where we grew up. We need to do a podcast while we're here. So we're at the Graham Avenue Boys Podcast Studios. Yeah. They're going to come on along with us a little bit later, probably talk about the Maple Leafs, Terrace Minor Hockey. And we're back together. It is preseason. Mm-hmm. Jeff has already done 1 game.
That's right.
What would tell us all about what happened?
Well, how much time do we have?
Oh, we got as much time as you want.
We got lots. And I should say that we did the Mitch Marner residency has officially begun in Vegas.
New era.
And I did that game last night with Brian McCormick on the VGK radio network. 103.1 CJFW in Terrace. And
I love when you call numbers. It makes me
I love it. What is it? 98.9 in Vegas.
Are you still telling
Fox
people
Sports.
to make good decisions?
No, I didn't. I'm going to save that to sometime during the season.
So good.
Try and always make good decisions, but
just like Subaru.
It was kind of fun. Yeah, it was kind of fun watching Mitch come out last night. First warm up with the team, they were pointing, "Hey, Mitch, you got to go over there now, over here, over there." So
what did you
didn't even think about stuff like that?
Skate into the visitors' end?
No. Well, he was ripping around, and they were starting to do line rushes, and Barbershop's pointing, "Hey, over here." And he's like, "Oh, yeah." So you don't even think about it. You just think this guy's a superstar. He's just going to show up and, but he's been with the Leafs forever. And his first night, and it's not like in practice, it's not like teams practice or warm up.
Right.
This is what we do. Guys just kind of blend in. Well, that was
a lot of focus on him, too. So
they were cheering when he come on the ice, and they had a rough start to the game, but they sure finished strong.
How big is him going to the Vegas Golden Knights? Is it bigger than when Eichel went there?
That's a good question. I'm starting off trying to stump me. I think with all of the, it's funny because both players left their past team, Buffalo and Toronto, under not ideal circumstances. Like Eichel's was an injury situation where he didn't agree with what they wanted to do with his neck surgery. So Vegas was like, you do whatever you need to do. They're going to make the deal. And then with Marner in Toronto, they could never get the deal done. And the animosity, especially with the fan base, really grew. So I hate to kind of be Switzerland on this, but we're trying to be Switzerland as much as we can. I would say 50-50 right now, but that's a good question. Maybe a little bit closer to 60-40 in Marner because Buffalo, hey, love the city, love the unis, but it's not the same market as Toronto, so we'll give a little bit of an edge to a little bit bigger deal with Marner leaving the hockey hotbed of Toronto, Ontario.
You do if you leave the hotbed, it's bigger than if you leave a smaller market. So I would say, interestingly enough, in Buffalo, not wanting to do the Marner surgery, the Eichel surgery. Yeah. They helped one of their players' wife had a heart transplant this summer. Did you know that?
No.
So I don't know which player it is. Well, we can look it up. She gets sick, and the owner of the team helps them find a heart, and she has a heart transplant. I was just like, they don't want to fix one guy's neck, but they'll help another guy's wife. Make a decision, save a player, let a wife go.
It's the thing in Buffalo is they own the Bills. The Bugalas own the Bills too. So, I mean, they know how to do it right. I mean, the Buffalo Bills might be your odds-on favorite for the Super Bowl this year. The Buffalo Sabres they're not even lagging.
Right.
They're not even lagging behind. They're not even in the picture, and there is a good history there, and it's a great town for hockey. And and it just goes to show you that they go help this guy's wife out. They're willing to do the right thing. It just hasn't transferred to the Sabres. But and just kind of finishing up on Marner in Eichel in Vegas, I think they'll start with them. I don't know if they'll always be together, just because Stone is such a good fit with Eichel as well, and Marner is so smart. One of the things when you get to see this guy, I know it's preseason. Utah had a good lineup in the last night. There's some really good players we'll talk about a little later, but he's so good with on the boards, and he's so cagey. He's just really a brilliant player. And if you look at that line right now, you've got Eichel's Team USA, Art Marner's Team Canada, and somehow if Russia ends up with a team in the Olympics, Barbashev will play for the Russian team. So, I mean, you're talking about a line with all-star players. We'll see how it gels, but if it doesn't work, you can slide him in with Carlson and Smith and move Stone back up with Eichel and Barbashev, and I think you're off to the races.
It's crazy that how much talent they have. Now, this will come out on Monday. Today's Friday.
Yeah.
How many preseason games are left?
Well, for Vegas, there's 4. So I think that, this is the last year we're going to see, 7 or 8 preseason games. Next year it's going to go to 4. I think is the number. Maybe 3, but 4 is the number. It's becoming a lot more like the NFL now, whereas you're not going to see, they're going to figure out their game early on in the season. Like if you watch some of the NFL games, we're in week 3 last week, and some of the games were just really average. And I think the NHL is like, we're not going to spend all this money on our players to have them play, try and get them into 6 or 7 or 8 preseason games. They're going to play 4, and we'll have them figure it out in the first 5 to 10 games of the season.
Do you think that makes it more difficult for a younger guy to break a lineup?
Absolutely, it does. Yeah. It's going to really, really hamstring some young guys. And
do you see guys maybe not getting an NHL career because of, or do you think the talent, no matter what, the talent always rises to the top?
Well, I think I'll give you an example. I can't go to every organization, but I'll give you an example of last year in Vegas and another guy to watch, just as a depth player. Because if you look at a lot of these NHL teams,
I just looked at your hat.
I know. Hey, everyone's like looking at it, going, "What the hell is he doing?"
Because he's being all serious wearing that cap.
Yeah, it's like I was waiting for you to call me out on it. So we got a donation here because when I sat down and the camera came on, I looked like Telly Savalas, and for the young people that don't remember Kojak, so I was like We looked like we needed to cover up my head, so they said you can have your hair, you can have your looks, and somehow I lost both on the way over here. But we're talking about, we're even talking about my hat. What a great hat!
It's a great hat. Well, we're talking about will you see some guys just not get a career because they haven't had that? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many practices are. It takes games to really. Some guys just don't shine in practice, right?
And I can't, like, everybody's got their favorite team. I think Vegas is everyone's favorite team, right? But it was. But I'll give you an example. Tanner Lazinski came in last year and really, really looked good in preseason, and he parlayed that into getting called up in games during the season, and it was a really touch and go whether they were going to send him down or keep him with the Golden Knights. Well, he had some runway in front of him, right? Next year, he's not going to have that much runway. Although, while we're taping this, he's playing again tonight in San Jose, as a lot of the other young guys are. And I'll give you another name that played a little bit in Ottawa. Cole Reinhardt made a really big impression in the Utah game. He'll play again tonight, which is Friday. The game will be done by the time, obviously, I think, unless they go into super overtime. By the time this comes, it's new. It's called super overtime. by the time
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Super Overtime.
that'd be great.
That'd be good.
We're just going to keep playing. But he made an impression. So the question is, you've got 7 games. You have time to make an impression. The Golden Knights, if you look at their top 12 forwards, it's pretty much set. Where's a guy going to get in his games? Because you're going to play your stars. If you have 4 exhibition games, you're going to play minimum of 2, maybe 3. It doesn't leave a lot of room unless you have competition, like maybe a up-and-coming team like Utah does, where you can squeeze some more guys in.
I'm just trying to think how you could do preseason so you still so you're cutting down for the older guys because they've made the team, but they still got to be in game shape, right? So how do you get them going, but also still have enough that your young guys get to see NHL time? But if the older guys aren't playing the NHL time, you're not really seeing the young guys get the NHL time. You're still seeing AHL.
Well, they're going to have a problem because they have their rookie camps, or we could call them prospect camps, but somewhere in between there, you have to get a look at these guys. But again, just give you a guy, Tano Ozinski, really good player in the American League, and I think he's an NHL player. But how does he get that look, and how does he differentiate himself? And that's the biggest thing. Like when you go watch a preseason game, it's not so much about what Matthews is going to do, or McDavid, or Draisaitl, or McKinnon, or Eichel. We know what they're going to do. Shea Theodore, we know what Makar, right? Quinn Hughes,
right?
What are these other guys going to do?
Right.
Who's the guy that's going to step up for the Vancouver Canucks, or the Colorado Avalanche, the Winnipeg Jets? Then, right, and that chance is getting limited. So where do they find that space to get?
Where do they get their guest spot to shine and let the audience know? Yeah,
it's like a drop in, like back in the day when you used to get them. Yeah. You were up
you got to kill, right?
Yeah.
So you get that. Where if the show's just not got the time on it, nobody gets a guest spot. So where do you get the time? It's really interesting.
Well,
I think they got to be careful not to hurt their product. I think that like your future product.
Well, what you're going to see too is you've got some pulled muscles and some injuries, and unfortunately Barkov went down today, and that really sucks. But we can talk about those. Yeah, we can talk about like Tkachuk. When you play to the finals 3 years in a row, and it could have just been a really innocent play that took Barkov down, but there's wear and tear on that body, and it doesn't always show up right away, but it'll show up sooner or later.
Yeah, at some point.
So
I was in my head. I was just hoping it was some guy in a PTO just trying to make a point.
Well, there's a few of those guys around, right? They're trying to let people know they're there, but I think
let them know you're there.
Yeah.
Oops, not that much.
That's what Busky used to say all the time. Let them know you're there.
Oh my God, he still does.
Yeah, he does. Yep. Yeah. So we'll see. The big thing, the pressure is going to be on the GMs to identify players that can come in and help, because that's what these games are all about right now, is to see who our call-up guys are going to be, who our depth guys are going to be, and hey, is there someone that kind of comes off the paper that we weren't aware of?
Right.
With 4 exhibition games next year, you're not going to have as much runway, but it's all because of the money. If they're going to spend money on these guys, they want to spend it when the games mean something.
How great is our background?
It's awesome. I've got the black and white one. You always got this one, in that hat I've got on. It's awesome.
We gotta start doing these in person.
We should more often, but we've both been busy. So
we've been busy, and it's tough for us to find airline tickets.
Well, and as Andy Collins, a buddy of mine, called me up, hey, all you U10 parents up in, I think he's in Tacoma or Seattle, lay off Andy. He's just trying to do the best he can. But he said to me, he goes, hey, I really enjoy your podcasts on your 2 to 9 week intervals.
we've been getting like, hey, when are you going to put another? Are you guys finished? I'm like, no, we just like to put them out once a quarter, just like my taxes. We do once a quarter.
It's like as often as you change your underwear, once a quarter.
Once a quarter. We like to get a little wear out of them. But now you guys have been waiting for this, and here we are.
Yeah.
If you hadn't waited,
live,
this wouldn't be exciting. Us being in the same room.
Yeah.
In Terrace.
Well,
by the way, we need to go up to the arena while we're here.
Yeah, I thought that we might be doing it from there, but we're just happy we're able to get here, because you grew up here, but Ian got lost twice today. And Terrace has grown a little bit, but the infrastructure has
Streets
kind of
are
been
so
the same. They're the same.
I was on Walsh, Davis Walsh.
I watched him drive by the house that I grew up in.
You know what?
My mom's been in since 1964 and couldn't quite make that right turn.
You know, I figured it out when I was at Flaherty's house. I was parked in Flaherty's driveway, and I was like, okay, now I can figure out where I am.
Well,
that's
the hub, and all the spokes come off where the Flahertys used to live on Walsh Avenue in Terrace, British Columbia.
Terrace, British Columbia, home of the new bridge.
That was built in 76.
I was showing my wife the old bridge. I said, oh, it used to be made of all wood back in the day. And she goes, oh, this is really nice. I'm like, oh, back in the day, it used to be terrifying.
Yeah,
now they've made suicide spots where, I don't know if you've seen it. Did you go across it? They got little outs so you can look at the water. I'm just like, oh, those are suicide spots.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
So you go across. Yeah. We're talking, it's preseason for the 25-26 season. Starting out, people are excited. We have a couple friends with new jobs. Steve Spott and Marco Sturm are in Boston.
Well, Ryan McGill is in Anaheim.
When did Ryan go to? I didn't know he went to Anaheim.
He went there just shortly after Coach Quenneville Q got hired. And look out for Anaheim. I'm going to tell you right now. Look out for Anaheim. They're not your mom and dad's Anaheim Ducks. Of course, they did win a cup back in the day. So
they kind of aren't. They're not winners.
Yeah, they're. So I like what they're doing in Anaheim.
Why? Tell me why.
Oh, Glenn Gulletson, Gully too. He got the head coaching job in Dallas. So yeah.
And we got our buddy. DeBoer taking some time off, but coaching the Olympic team. He'll be working.
That was a lot of name dropping right there.
Yeah, pick them all up, trying to impress your nephew.
Yeah, that's right. Kalen's going to be, if he's even listening, he just wants to know when the Graham Park boys are coming on. He doesn't care about this.
The Graham Park boys will be coming on and talking to us in a bit. Big time Toronto Maple Leafs fans. We'll figure out. Well, we
haven't been able to tell that though in the studio. There's not a lot of Leafs paraphernalia running around here, but
if we only had some couple things.
Yeah, a few things like. Daryl Sittler is 10-point night, which I remember like it was yesterday, the greatest night maybe ever in the NHL, Daryl Sittler. And I came in and I looked, I was all excited, February 7th, 76, and I remember it like it was yesterday. That's
funny.
They weren't quite here.
Can't remember my phone number, but I can remember that. Yeah. Also, we have the computer sitting on a bunch of books. Dental assisting is big in this household.
And social psychology.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, the Minds Machine, that's another one. So I guess maybe they're trying to tell us something.
They're smarter than us.
Yeah,
I know. But, so you say Anaheim, look out for Anaheim.
In the West, I'm going to go with Anaheim and Calgary. Look out for them. Yeah.
Calgary?
Yeah, I like Calgary. I just like the way they play. I think they're going to catch a lot of teams off guard they're a little bit abrasive and they play with pace. Ooh. So look out for Calgary. And it's Dustin Wolf's team now, and this guy's been doubted his whole career. Right. And I really like where Calgary is, and I really like where Anaheim's going. I think I don't know we grew up with the Canucks. I don't know what to make of that. I love some of their players.
I don't know what to make of
but I just don't know what to make of what's going on in Vancouver. They're going to have a great
calendar that you can pick up at Shoppers Drug Mart. That's what I know is going to happen with the Vancouver Canucks.
That's right. You get that along with your Advent calendar probably sometime in November.
Edmonton. Oh, before we go to the other teams, I've already noticed some big number goalies being sent into waivers. Have you noticed that?
Well, that's a bit of an issue, right? If you can only have two, and the third one's got to go somewhere. It's not like a player where you can maybe kind of hide them.
Utah's dropped one. Chicago dropped one. We're talking like big numbers. Like I think for Tifov, I think he was 6.5 a year.
Yeah, well, that sounds pretty rich, but I think they did bring him over and gave him some money. But if you make any kind of money and you're on the fence,
goodbye.
They're gonna waive you. And a couple of the other guys that got waived, they're for different reasons. Utah waived Connor Ingram, right? Yes. I like him, but he'll
go somewhere. Right?
He was getting things kind of straightened out a little bit. Brossois I believe, is available, who had a really nice run in Vegas a few years ago, and Flass did a great job with him when he was in Winnipeg.
Where was Marcel?
He was in Chicago, but he never really played because he was injured. So there's some guys out there, and he might have landed by the time this awesome podcast drops, sometime between now and Christmas. But
we might put up bits and pieces of it until Christmas.
We're just gonna do sound bites and call it our week.
Woo! We put an effort into our podcast.
I just feel like are we
Keith
part?
Axelson said we should call it low hanging fruit.
We're somewhere between Bob and Doug and Wayne's World here. I feel like now. I feel like that's kind of where we are. So
Bob's World.
Yeah,
that's where we're at. So we go back. We go. So Edmonton. People are terrified because Connor's not signed. They're saying he's making his body language says he's going to leave.
Well, I think if you're in certain markets, you're probably a little bit triggered, right now. And I mean, let's just bring up the state tax. Obi talked about that. Sean O'Brien talked about it on his podcast the other day. And if you ever listen to those guys, they're pretty funny. And he had a great line. I'm not going to repeat it because I have an HR department I have to answer to. But Sean O'Brien had a hilarious line about state tax. And you can't ignore it.
No shit, Sherlock, is basically what he said.
He's like, you can't ignore it.
And Florida is talking about getting rid of property tax. And so if they get rid of property tax, they're never going to stop winning the Stanley Cup in Florida. Like it definitely does affect. But at the same time, nobody's going to do anything until this new agreement comes in, right? And a couple of things are signed so people can figure out the money. Why would the big boys cost themselves money, right?
Well, I mean, it's a business.
That, right?
Back when I came up, just around the horse and carriage and the steam train. But back years ago, and
when I used to wear the steel tube blades.
That's right. I never wear Langs. Those were yours. Those were like, here's some ski boots, Ian. Let's put some blades on them.
But ankles.
Yeah, it's those thick ankles that kept you from being more than you were.
Johnny Cankle should have been a great goaltender.
But if you think about it, like the game, these guys now they're hired guns, and good for them. It's a young person's world, and go get it. And they're making decisions, and you're like, well, Brad Marchand's not young, but Brad Marchand was on sale in Boston for his whole career, and now he's like, I kind of want to get paid on the way out the door. So,
it's you can't blame a guy like that.
No,
and the fact that he's still got it, right?
Well, and here's the thing: he wasn't going to Nashville, and I don't even know if he was coming out to Vegas. And Vegas is, there's no state tax in Vegas. That's well documented, and the team's been really successful. But let's use Nashville, another great city. Mm-hmm. But you know what? He kind of had it. He was like, I'm going to Florida, and that's kind of the end of the deal. And Florida was able to get him and keep him. And
he also did get to see Florida more than those other teams when
100%.
So you're like, hey, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah, and if you look and you go, well, how about Marner? Everyone was, Marner, sometimes a change is as good as the rest. And obviously he had full control of where he ended up going. And Vegas is at the top of his list. It's, if you look at the NBA, these guys just decide, the top players decide where they want to go. They end up with their buddies. And, the NHL's not quite at that level, but these guys have a lot of power now. And if you had power, what would you do?
Yeah.
Well, you have power.
I have a lot of power. And I'll tell you what I do with it. I wield it. I don't know. You can't be mad at anybody wanting to be paid, because we all want to be paid at the end of the day. I get everybody thinking you should have loyalty to a team, but at the same time, does a team have loyalty to you at the end of the day? So I remember you said to me once, loyalty is a two-way street.
Yeah.
Right? So you understand. You might not get it, but you have to understand.
Well,
but at the same time, I don't think he's going anywhere from Edmonton.
Look for, if you want to see
You think he might leave?
If you look and see where he goes with his contract, 2 to 4 years.
Oh my goodness! You just heard it right there from Switzerland.
Yeah, 2 to 4 year deal. Like I mean,
Jeff
I
Shuffle
think
says
that's.
Connor's leaving.
I'm playing back at tape recording of Elliot Friedman. Elliot, sorry, but I think right now, and he's earned whatever he wants to do. This guy is, I mean, he's a prototypical whatever, he's a foundation piece of the league, never mind a team. And so I would look whatever he does, and I never thought Gretzky's getting traded, so don't quote me on it, but I'm thinking Connor McDavid probably does a 2 to 4 year deal, and he's earned the right to walk if he wants. The thing is there's a lot of loyalty with this guy, and I mean, he's best friends with Draisaitl, who's just starting his 8-year deal this year.
Right.
My concern in Edmonton would be is if Connor decides that I've had enough at some point, what's it look like for Leon? Because on the open market, and again, I'm not really good with math, right? Because
not good with markets.
Yeah, not good with markets and math, but 20 million. LA, the Rangers, I mean, line up where they try to clear the cap space to give him that kind of money. Chicago could pull him and Cale Makar, who has another, he's got a little bit longer to go. I mean, these teams, these automatically fill your buildings every night, these guys. So 20 million is a drop in the bucket for a team like the Chicago Blackhawks who are trying to find a way to get forward. And I'm not saying it's going to get there, but we'll see.
I think you're right. And if, speaking of Chicago, let's go to Winnipeg, where a big piece of Chicago ended up, and I'm really excited about Taves being back in the league.
Yeah, 100%. And it just goes to show you, you can come home. And Winnipeg kind of broke out last year. They were able to kind of get, through some shaky points in the first round, ultimately losing out to Dallas, but. I think Winnipeg is another team that you have to look at and say.
I think Winnipeg is Florida. Struggle.
Yeah.
Success.
And
right.
You look at Hellebuck was good, and you had a guy like Taves that can just go in and go, hey boys, it's not a big deal.
I also think Winnipeg depends on the Olympics. If Hellebuck plays great in the Olympics, be careful.
Well, let's be honest. So it all comes back to coaching in Winnipeg. Just the best coaches.
The best goalie coach ever at all times.
That's right. So Winnipeg's going to be there. I mean, and we'll just talk about a little bit about.
But they I don't know if they repeat what they did last year for the regular season.
Mm-hmm. Well,
they had some.
We should ask the Graham
numbers.
Street boys that one.
We should bring them in.
Yeah, let's get them going.
We're going to talk. We'll talk to Toronto. We'll talk Winnipeg. We'll get these boys in. We'll be right back right after this. And we're back. We're back in the basement of the Graham Avenue podcast with the boys from the Graham Avenue podcast talking about hockey in Terrace, British Columbia. First of all, guys, how many years have you been doing the podcast?
Since 2019.
2019.
I don't know how many years. I'm not
2019.
Not good at math.
Which one of you started it?
Whose
idea?
Yeah, well, it was actually our friend was commuting between Prince George and Vanderhoof, and he's a sicko. He doesn't like music.
Right.
So he asked us to start a podcast so we could listen to it.
That's really funny.
He said you won't. He's like, you guys won't start a podcast.
That was his gamble.
That was his text. His text was literally, you guys won't start a podcast.
And
we did, and we've been doing it ever since. And we're now culturally, our MP is no longer the MP anymore, but he sent us like an official government document that says that we are culturally relevant to Northwest BC, which is either a good thing for Northwest BC or a bad thing.
I think I've been a guest on it. It's a fantastic podcast.
Nice.
You guys just talk to people from the Northwest is basically all you do. I think you may have had a couple of my friends on at one point,
we had
right?
Janelle Draper came on.
Janelle, yeah. But for the most part, it's everybody. Somebody's lived here at some point, right?
Yeah, typically, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or a connection here.
Has anybody said no to doing the podcast?
No.
No,
I don't think so.
That's awesome.
We don't aim too high though. We don't shoot for the stars.
That was pretty awesome that you just took down every guest ever.
Yeah, and your
You're
buddy,
probably our biggest guest. Like,
Exactly.
once we had
Do
you,
not
which
aim
was
high.
early, we were like,
it only goes down from there.
having Jeff Sharples is pretty sweet.
That was massive.
yeah,
I've seen his
it's
name
a nice
my whole
consolation.
life.
Okay, so you both grew up playing hockey, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you both grew up playing hockey in Terrace.
Yes.
Yeah.
So tell us about Jeff Sharples, because I grew up playing hockey in Terrace, and how does the Sharples family fit into your guys' growing up playing hockey?
Well, basically,
In Terrace.
growing up playing hockey, there was always like you have like the provincial championship
Right.
teams like up on the wall,
Right.
and basically in hockey there was 3, and it was all the same guys. And it's
There was 3 teams, right? It's
so
just
yeah,
3
so,
teams.
so growing up, yeah, it's like, when the hell are we going to win provincials again? And I don't think Terrace won provincials until they went down a tier, or they broke the tier
yeah.
system up. So it was always like, these guys are royalty. Wade Flaherty, Geoff Sharples, Terry
Geoff.
Yeah, I like it.
Geoff.
What
Like,
about,
Rudy
yeah.
branched out a bit.
is Rudy Pocek a Terrace guy?
Yeah, he was here. Rudy
That's
won
such a
when we
hockey
went
name.
to the
It's such a
Yeah.
hockey name.
we went to the Air Canada Cup with Rudy, Dale Kushner.
Like that's another.
So and there were some other guys we talked about earlier.
Quick fact about Rudy Pocek. First Terraceite to ever be on David Letterman's show.
No
no
way.
way.
He was in the stands one night, and they're like, "Oh, it's a hockey player in the stand." Rudy Pocek. Yeah, I remember I was
No
watching. I
way.
was
He
like,
might even have snuck on to Saturday Night Live. Rudy was a big deal when he was playing at Madison Square for the Rangers. And yeah, so Rudy was in town for Rudy Pocek. Went to school with him for probably 2 or 3 years. He was with us. So pretty
was he
amazing,
originally
right?
from here, or was he?
No, they moved in. I think his dad came in for work,
from
but
Prince George, probably
isn't that where everyone comes from?
from the Big Smoke.
Yeah. So pretty amazing though, right? You got guys up there, but to have 4 kids from a small town, or maybe we had 5, get a chance to play a game in the NHL is pretty amazing. So that was just
incredible.
a freak, right? That those kids all came together and you're able to do that. But yeah, it was great hockey town, still is.
yeah.
Something in the water that year.
Well, I always have said that if I ever win the Bob Erb special, which is winning $25 million, I will sink like at least $2 or $3 million into a study to figure out what the hell was going on in like 1970.
I think it's a
67,
documentary.
right? Were you born in
Yeah,
67?
so most of
It's
those
a
guys are
documentary.
Right?
late
Like it's
60s. Yep.
insane that per capita,
Yeah.
like that is something that like should be studied.
Has anyone
Well,
made the
you
NHL
wanna-
since from Terrace?
You want to get?
No.
I don't think so, but you want to get him into it even better. Jeff said this on the podcast before. 14 kids tried out, and 14 kids made the team.
And they were all
no,
sick.
15 tried out, and 14 made the team, or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, we
It
had
was-
14 kids come out, and 14 kids traveled the whole season, and then
That's crazy.
You end up winning
And they won.
provincials, which was AAA or whatever you want to call it. I didn't even know, but
The top tier.
Yeah, and you're beating Seafair, North Shore Winter Club, all these teams from
That's
Vancouver,
insane.
and you had kids. And I don't. I mean, if you make junior, you go play college. That's amazing. Anything you can do. But we had Trevor. We talk about Trevor all the time. I still think he's probably was arguably the best player to ever come out of our town. This guy was scoring from the red line at 13 or 14 years old on goalies, like just winding up and slapping it and scoring. That's how dynamic he was. And so we'd go to these tournaments and Trevor would get 5 or 6 goals in a game, and everyone was scared just shitless of him because he was 6'2" then.
Right.
So yeah, pretty amazing. But
I think
yeah.
the most impressive thing, and is not talked about, is that 14 kids came out and 14 kids made the team, because
14 kids go into the water.
yeah. But because I just remember going to tryouts, and it was like every kid that played at that age was there, not just 14 kids, and we were still shitty. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
and there was a bunch of
just-
kids and we got nothing to choose from. All right, we're going to win it all.
Well, if you look at it, the first year that as you start out, back then it's Pee Wee, Bantam, Midget. Now it's U8, U10, U12, so on. But the first year the finals were in Terrace, and the rink was sold out. And so anybody that's local or ever been up to that rink knows that place, the roof can come off it, right?
Yeah.
People get really excited.
Oh, yeah.
And these teams came in from other parts of the province, and I think they were just a little bit overwhelmed. And so that's kind of where, the monster got created. But as you move on, you talk about 14 kids coming out for your Bantam team. and winning it, and then your team that went to the Air Canada Cup, which is the creme de la creme of minor hockey, and getting to that tournament, we had every kid on that team but one kid go on to at least play somewhere junior A, tier 2, or college, or tier 1 WHL. So that to me,
Who was that kid?
Amazing. Yeah, the one kid is sitting in a North Dakota hockey shirt right now.
It's funny. It's funny, you
anyways.
guys. I love that you guys have flipped the script. We wanted to talk about you, and we ended up talking about
Well,
you.
I mean,
this is
we've talked about me for a long time.
I'm dead serious. I've stared at your name like my whole life and always
this
wondered
is
what
awesome.
you looked like. And I
This
honestly
is it.
envisioned you, Rudy Pocek. I thought you guys all looked like Patrick Swayze, and you guys are all just chiseled. So to see you like in a,
chiseled.
to see you in like, and
Somewhat
you look, you
chiseled.
still look great, but to see you in an Oasis bucket hat that's like 2 sizes too small, it's pretty sweet.
It's got a huge
Yeah.
melon on it.
You know what? It's tough to compete on this podcast.
Right?
The orange slices is tough enough, but with the Graham Street boys, I like that. It kind
Yeah.
of makes you guys seem a little intimidating.
Right?
Like we're going to
love
rough
it.
you up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
kind
it's a gritty neighborhood. I'm sure you know
Oh,
this
Yeah,
immediately.
well, I
yeah.
told Ian a bunch of times. I mean, we're on Graham. You understand that, don't
Right?
you? Yeah.
He's like,
It's like,
wow,
we're lost.
He's like, we're getting close to Bronze Island.
Did you lock the vehicle right before you came in?
Yeah, I hope
Oh
so.
shit!
I do want to ask though, because I've heard, obviously, I've always hear about the puck machine that Wade Flaherty's dad had. I'm not sure if that's actually true, the puck machine, but I heard your dad was like was he the head coach, and he was probably would have been a massive part of your guys' success.
Yeah. So there, just you're only as
Cliff
good as the
Rooney.
people around you. What's
Yeah.
that?
Oh, Cliff Rooney had, he had it going on.
Oh yeah. So back then, being up in North, and you wonder like where these kids come from. Well, if you think of the influx of people into this area for work and other things, it just was just whatever the time of it was logging or resources or whatever. But to get people, it's one thing to have the talent, it's another thing to be able to organize it and go forward with it. And one thing that we had is we had all the parents, we had a lot of structure, and so it started with, obviously my dad did all he could to kind of get the proper structure. Like I remember we were doing breakouts. I'm like, what are we doing breakouts? We just were out there wheeling around. We had breakouts, we had lines, we had people that were, he was good at placing people. Like another local guy, hero is Richard Lindstrom. Rich was a big man when we were teenage boys, and he used to, he played on a line with other guys that could go out and be physically intimidating, and it's hard to believe back in minor hockey, but that's the truth. Ray Flaherty had the first puck machine to help the goalies. Obviously, we know.
Is that the one that was at the arena forever?
Yeah. We know what happened with Wade's career, and Wade is still coaching as we tape this
You
tonight.
just texted him.
Yeah, with the Winnipeg Jets, and his goaltenders won 3 Vezinas now, and a Hart. Pretty amazing. This guy's unsung, but he's.
But he doesn't have a
Yeah.
Air Canada Cup.
Yeah. So, and then you look around, like another local family, Philpott family, Fred Philpott.
They're all
rest
such
in
hockey
peace.
names, eh?
Yeah.
It's
It's a hockey,
insane.
yeah.
His dad could run forever, so he did our dryland. Like, who did dryland? Well, we rented the Thornhill High School gym or Caledonia or whatever we could get on in the winter. Because it's not like now. Like, these teams now, these minor hockey teams are playing 80 games, 70 games, a lot of them a year. The kids are on the ice 3 times a week. We had practice once a week.
Right.
And then sometimes we might get Saturday morning if we weren't playing at 6 a.m. So we needed to find other ways. And I think that's the biggest thing is that I would say to minor hockey parents is you don't need to play 80 games because they're not going to be at the Canucks training camp next year. But you know what? Keep them active in other areas, and that'll help their hockey all-around game as they get older.
What years did you guys play minor hockey here? Like, what? So
So he's 2 years older than me.
did you guys ever play on the same team or no?
We did.
Oh,
yeah,
right, one
we
year.
did.
Yeah, midgets.
When I was in first year midget, he was in third year midget.
Yeah.
You could do 3 years of midget?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, that's
Yeah.
different.
It was 3 years.
You got
so-
held back?
It's like, we'll need you to play one more year.
Yeah, we knew
Was
each
that
other.
because they got rid of juvenile, I'm guessing,
We
right?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
grade
okay.
10, 11, 12 is
Yeah.
midget.
That'd be U18 now, Ian.
Yeah.
U18. They got rid of
Politically
makes
correct.
sense,
Yeah, we would ride the bus.
Oh,
so like
jeez, I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
We'll bleep that out in post.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Midget.
Yeah,
But like
That's what they're called.
Yeah, when he was in Pee Wee, and
The people, not the group.
Yeah, we'd share the bus. So like we only had one bus back in the day. Like he was in Pee Wee's, I was in Bantams, and like, yeah, my seat eventually like had a hole underneath it where you could just see down to the road. And
No way.
Yeah.
He had a Bauer 8000 helmet.
I got
which was-
roasted.
Oh, he got
or 8500, I think.
8500.
Like the
so
Corey
just-
Perry bucket from back in the
Just
day.
a big bucket.
awesome.
But he was a good player. He made. They called it. What do they call it? Best ever. It's like U16. He went down, played against Tyson Berry.
Tyson Berry, Vander Kane got roasted every game. Didn't get a single point the entire time.
Oh yeah, probably didn't even
got
touch the
fucking
puck.
manhandled. Yeah.
Really?
Ever hear of a guy named Dave Glenn? Was he down there then? David Glenn?
I don't know.
Dave Glenn?
Such a
because he
hockey
was.
name, too.
That's cool though that you
Yeah.
that you were able to do that. You were able.
Yeah,
So,
very-
so what time of year did you guys do that?
It was, I think it was like February. It was like winter games, basically.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it was like, but our region was Rupert to Vanderhoof.
So they took everybody from they
Yeah.
made a team with everybody.
Yeah,
that.
from everyone from Rupert to Vanderhoof. So we basically like didn't have any big communities.
Mm-hmm.
So we got absolutely roasted by every team. Because
And
we
I got
don't, yeah,
cut
we,
when I tried.
So they
Yeah.
combined you guys together. And
Yeah.
and did you guys get to practice at all? Like, how did that?
No,
all-
what was the point
we
of
had,
that?
Like, I
we,
mean,
had, we
yeah.
had one weekend. So
Hey guys, come on down.
we all went down to like, I think we went down to Smithers practice and then flew out. But, and they,
flew out of Smithers.
yeah, went to trail. But then we played Vancouver and it was like that region. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, well,
that's region stupid.
we look at it and like, all right, every player except for one is on the North Shore Winter Club. So they all practice together. They've been like training together
Yeah.
for like
Oh,
years.
yeah. What did you
And
guys
then-
lose?
I think it was, I don't even know. Our best game was 4-1.
Okay.
And like when we played
pretty
North Shore
good.
Winter Club, like Evander Kane's on the team. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think Landon Farrar, like Ray Farrar's kid, was on that team.
yeah, yeah.
He was on one of the teams. Tyson Berry was on the Vancouver Island team.
Well, those guys
But-
aren't very good.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes,
NHL,
And then there's me. I can't
jeez,
even stick handle.
right.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I was just big
horrible
for my
hands.
age. Yeah.
I remember
So,
being like, I can't believe
here-
you even made it.
Can't even
Offense.
go skate
But
backwards.
here's a question. So they put everyone together from up north. They take you guys down there. Like, what were you thinking when you got there? Were you guys just like scared out of your, or were you just so excited? You're like, yeah, we're gonna kick
do
these
this.
guys down. Yeah. Like, what was your kind of thought process? And as you guys got ready.
Before I left Terrace, I actually went to the arena and I had like one of those very like cinematic moments. And I looked at the banners and I'm like, make Jeff proud. No, I was actually, I got so
And here he is. It's come full circle.
with my own podcast. Yeah. But honestly, I was so sick when I went down too. Not that it would have made much of a difference.
You know
but,
how hard you just took him down? That
oh,
hat
yeah.
fits.
Exactly. Like,
I was
it's
excited.
like he was looking at my name. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It was honestly like for me though. After that happened, I was like, you know what? I'm never going anywhere with hockey. That was like
Yeah.
the.
Did you think like not even college, not junior, not nothing
No,
after that?
I said I could I was like, if I work hard, I can be a bottom six forward on a junior B team in a horrible part of the province,
Right.
and probably be forced to fight,
Yeah.
even though I'm not strong.
That's how
Yeah.
that's exactly where I
You'll
was
be in
at.
I would have been in
John.
Fort St. John with like
Yeah.
8 conkeys in the first
I'm
year.
just going, I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight somebody. I'm not gonna. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
Well, hockey's done.
Okay,
Yeah.
but here's a question. So you go down there, and we got all the kids from up north.
Yeah.
Well, how do you like? What's your thought? You take away from that. You go, okay, I'm playing against Evander Kane, Tyson Berry. Well, there's resources down there.
But you don't realize until later on
Yeah.
who
I
they
know,
were.
but what do you bring back from that? Like, how do we?
Holy crap!
How do we get? How do we get that for these kids up north? Like, we ran a hockey school for 11 years when I first turned pro. I came out of junior and it took a village, as Lord Bagg likes to say. But what was your takeaway? You're like, how do we prepare like other people from my community in this area to for what we just went through?
It's tough. Like, so a guy I played hockey with, Sahir Gill, he's actually still playing in Europe. He left. I think he would have moved like after Pee Wee's. And I think part of the reason they moved is because they wanted to see his career
Right.
flourish, because there isn't the opportunities here. Like, you look at just everything. Like, they have they have a zillion rinks. We have 2 now. We had 1 at the time. But yeah, I think like they have better coaches and there's more money involved in the programs, and people like go to like that are in country clubs are spending a lot of money so they can have better facilities.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer is.
Well, do you think
Whatever was in the water when you were born, I
A guy
guess.
that was younger than me, Jason Krug.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Jason
Yeah, oh,
Krug.
yeah.
He was a kid that was able to take what we had here and get into college with it. And
Yeah.
he now lives in Kansas City doing his. I think he works in finance, but he was able to take what he had and get that into take it and move it into another thing. Wow, that was some bad.
That was that was good.
I liked it though.
That was School District 88. That's what it was.
That was the
when
bottom
we
of the
grew up here,
district. That was School
88.
District 201.
Yeah, that was.
That
But
was,
don't
that was
you
horrible.
think?
But he was able to. I don't even know what the word is. I don't want to do
okay,
one. He was able to multiply it into. That's what I was saying. I think you've got to have. Growing up here, it's tough to, and I don't know if it's still the same because the internet makes the world smaller, right? When I was a kid, where do I go to Smithers or do I go to Prince George? That's basically what was going on, right? I didn't realize, you could probably go to college someplace if you put this effort into, so
Even a Canadian college.
yeah.
Doesn't have to
Have you noticed anybody doing that with coming out of your guys' age group, maybe a little bit younger, and taking it and helping them expand their life?
Yeah, I think I know like a few people that have gone that route, because there are like you can go play at like Prince Edward Island. You don't have to go to like North Dakota or like Boston College.
You can do comedy and get the
Yeah.
get the old jersey.
Got your name on the back.
Anyways,
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like some people are, but I mean,
A lot of guys are coming
Yeah.
back though, and like one thing that's kind of cool is like, and I remember when Trevor Hendry, like I think it was one of the first times the River Kings were back, or when they started, like he played on the team, and Zapperzan and a few of the guys. I remember watching them, and now the team is really really young. Like there's a lot of guys that they played junior and maybe they didn't get a scholarship or something, but they come back and like the hockey's pretty good to watch, like in Terrace, and
Yeah, I was hoping
they've
it was
won a
gonna
couple
happen this
Koi
weekend.
Cups, which is the senior men's team, and they tried and they finally the last 2 years won back to back. So I think maybe having younger guys coming back and actually good hockey, like I always find it with, like I'm more of a music person than hockey, but for me in the music scene, like it's, as a kid, it's really important to see people in your town doing like playing at a high level. And like when you're an 8-year-old and you're watching a River King, like that can actually be relatively like inspiring for you, right? So I think
Absolutely.
that's actually going to help us.
I just realized we got the wrong Sharples here at music. I should have had my brother here, Doug.
Right?
Kingfish,
I
right?
remember Doug.
Yeah.
He's still
geez.
Yeah, he's,
Rumor Red.
yeah, Rumor Red, the
Rumor Red.
Kingfish. But
Kingfish. That's
Yeah.
what I remember.
that's the thing, is exactly what you said, is you need to have, it's very important to people that are in your community. So with the River Kings and their success, these guys have gone out, they've come back to the community. But how do you get the resources, just like music or anything else, in place so the kids in the community can have access and then can make a decision? And ice is expensive. We understand that with hockey. And so
Even crushed ice at Safeway,
yeah,
$4 a bag.
with yeah, it is. And so if you look at it, you say to yourself, well, how do we build this out? And Hockey Canada, up until a few years ago, was only getting $1 million a year for the men's hockey team. So the women's hockey team got $1 million, the rowing team, everyone got $1 million. So there was no kind of, hey, you get this and you get that, no matter how people look at the hierarchy of all of that. So my thing is, in communities where maybe another sheet of ice or access to hockey, for example, isn't as easy for families, is what kind of resources, a center can we have? Maybe you got volleyball, you've got gyms in there, track inside. And I know that costs money, but something you can sell to your whole community, your whole area.
Totally.
Look at the hospital in town now. They finally, right, this is the hospital for the whole area. Well, maybe you have a training facility that no matter what sport you're in, you can, that gives you an opportunity to keep moving and growing.
I think they've lost a little bit of going back to even being older than us, is that there was equipment for the kids to try without the parents having to spend the money.
Yeah.
And that's been lost because the game just keeps getting more and more expensive, right? So I think in a community like this, they gotta put it together so kids have the opportunity and it doesn't cost, right? Because at the end of the day, it's all finance, right? If the parents can't afford it, the parents are not going to do it, right? So if it's available to them, the parents have to have the gumption to do it, right? So now the blame lies on the parents, right? It's not, the blame lies on the community. And at the moment with the finance, I think the blame lies on the community.
He nailed that.
Yeah.
Huge retribution after the last.
Yeah, take that.
That was unreal.
Suck it.
If you ever want to quit comedy, unreal
Politics.
he could be an accountant.
Yeah. Oh, well,
It was
yeah.
unreal. The way you were
Great with
speaking, I'm
numbers.
like, that's what we need.
That's what we need.
But part of it is
That's
too,
what you do, right? You're an accountant.
Yeah, sadly.
Part of
And
it
musician.
is on Hockey Canada as well.
No, I
like,
don't. I a little bit, but I also think it's community. You gotta have self-worth as a community.
I agree, and you know, but I think, and it's easy to throw stones at anything, but Hockey
Especially when you
Canada-
don't live here. I just chucked them.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, you got to fix this.
Yeah.
But Hockey Canada, if we're just talking about that, has to, I think, get their feet back underneath them. And maybe, you know, with the NHL players being back in the Olympics, that draws more attention to, like the Four Nations was fantastic. What are we going to do about that? Because Ian and I, we're both work in the States, and the amount
America.
of money that goes into when they want to do something down there, they don't look back, and the facilities are incredible. So we are on a smaller scale, but you know what? With Hockey Canada, I think that they can do some things to help the grassroots get kids back in their game. We'll see. Might be wrong with you. You love that hat, eh?
No, it's just you're saying so like really impactful things, but wearing
It's
that
tough to-
ball.
well, I guess I could have
I love
taken.
it
I
so
could
much.
probably
No, I
take
want
it
you to
off,
keep
but
it on.
I look like Telly Savalas earlier, and
No,
I
you look
I
great
told
now.
you guys, it's looks, her hair,
I'm
I lost
loving
both.
it,
I was
man.
like, oh.
Now you're looking
I,
like
and then
good times.
Patrick Swayze, I'm like, well, I guess I'm still going. He did look
Oh,
good though. He
Jeff
was.
was-
He was
Jeff was a handsome fucker when he was.
Well, he
was
still
young.
is.
He's still-
I wasn't saying he
but-
wasn't anymore.
but when he was a young guy, he was.
If you look at
Look
the
at
guy's
the
hockey DB, man, I just get
Yeah.
lost for hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
true. Yeah, when you click
I'm
through
like-
the pictures, probably every guy in Terrace has clicked through the Jeff Sharples pictures because you can see like multiple pictures on Hockey DB if you
Yeah.
click it.
Yeah.
You're like, damn. Oh, shit.
Oh boy. Yeah.
That's
Ooh,
where
that
it
was
went
a
off
tough
the
year.
rails.
My
Kansas City.
My mother-in-law came out when Jeff first met my wife. My mother-in-law was in town, and and she came back the next year, and Jeff was going to be in town, and the family, and my mother-in-law said, "Is that good-looking family coming out for dinner with us tonight?"
Yeah. But don't worry, that didn't last long. I was walking Ian's dogs one day, and the guy goes, "Gramps, is that Gramps?" And they thought Ian's.
No.
They thought Carrie Ann's dad was in town.
They thought it was Carrie Ann's dad.
Come
like,
on.
No,
And then
but
it got
he's a
worse.
good-looking dude.
Then it got
Mike,
worse. He tripped in. It got tripped up by the dogs.
yeah.
Ended up on his ass.
Yeah, I got wound up by 3 dogs on the beach, and
Hip
this lady
replacement.
looks at me. She goes, "Sir, do you need help?" And as soon as you get called "sir," guys,
Oh.
your life's over.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to see like you
Gone
played in the
down.
show and like you went to the highest level, but you still like fall down and stuff.
Oh
You know what I mean?
God! Well, the
His
problem
best
is if
fall
you
down
think-
story is
Well, you try and fall up from here on out, though.
Philadelphia when you're just walking down the street. Remember that?
I thought we were going to talk about. I'd rather talk about my hockey now, but yeah, I think it's. I think you see people and maybe you don't know them, and then until you sit down with them, or you're right. Everybody has the same issues. Like in these people that we idolize, I guess in your case, a lot of the Leafs. These guys are no different than anybody else,
We
right?
were looking at your wall up
See
here.
the Bobby Bond? That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lot of interesting things. You got the family crest is basically the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Legitimately, yeah. Most of these are my dad's
Your
pictures,
dad.
but yeah.
So my connection to you and your father and the Maple Leafs is when your father was very sick, and we were able to get Mike Palmatier to call him.
Yeah.
It
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And he also I texted Ian just been like, can you please because my dad loved Ian's comedy, and I was like, can you just send him a video maybe, or send him a text or something just to wish him well? And then Ian's like, give me 10 minutes. And then 10 minutes later, Curtis Joseph's on my phone wishing my dad well. I'm like, holy, and then, yeah, we were just driving to get I think a chair for him or something. And Mike Palmatier calls, had a 30-minute call with him. And yeah, so
Yeah,
always
it's-
grateful for that, Ian. That's
Well,
super cool.
it is the best part of being able to do fun things is be able to share with other people. So, and I'm sure, and Jeff has shared a lot with me, and I've met lots of friends through him, through his playing. And the great part is, to this day, when I meet people that work around the league or in the league, I'm able to bring up Jeff's name and they recognize it right away.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool.
But as you guys played, I mean, hockey is
At a pretty high level.
Yeah. Minus the Evander Kane story. The trail story. The rest of it was pretty good. But hockey's like 2 degrees separation. Like you see people and they remember, but they're pretty common group of people, right? And that's kind of what I think endears you to a lot of them. And most of the time, you just hope that the interaction with them is what you think it'll be.
There's very few
people.
Like douches. There's very few. I think the best thing I've ever seen is I was at a golf tournament and who's the guy that's trying to come back with St. Louis that played for
Lucic?
Lucic.
Yeah. Lucic is trying to come back?
He's on a PTO with St.
No
Louis.
way.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, all right. But he's hammered and he's got a Ginla on his shoulders doing squats, right?
Wow.
And then they kind of start scrapping a little bit, right? They're scrapping a little bit. And this guy decides that he's going to get in between them. He's because golf tournaments got the rich people at it. And he's going to get in between it and settle this. And all of a sudden he gets popped in the beak.
No.
Right? And again, Les realizes who he's punched. He's like, holy shit. And next thing you know, he's wearing a Ginla shirt.
Oh, yeah.
Ginla's naked, trying not to make him be taken down to downtown to the courthouse.
I feel like badge of honor though, getting punched in the like. I'm a Canucks. I'm a Canucks fan.
Yeah.
I would be honored. I would hate being punched in the face by Joe McGinley, but I would be honored.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
If I could remember it, I feel like I'd probably black out.
That's kind of like over the last bunch of years, minus the playoff run, it's kind of being a Canucks fan. You have to be able to take some lumps, right? Over the years.
You are lumps if you're a Canucks fan.
Well, I try to get back on the train, but it's tough. And then, so what's your guys? What do you think? Where are the Canucks going to end up this year?
I have no idea.
No?
I don't like to think about it too much. Like I'm just gonna kind of like space out in like a trance until November, December,
when the calendar comes out.
Like
when the Shoppers Drug Mart calendar comes out, and then you'll be fine.
I know they just like they can't keep being bad and then being periodically good for 1 year in between.
It's the funny part is how they went from being really bad to being the kind of the light that you wanted to be. Like all of a sudden they had this different type of training, they had facilities, and they just gave up on it, right? And now nobody wants to go there. It's crazy.
Tough. Like I know playing a Canadian market can be difficult. Vancouver's such a great city, super expensive, but like it's very like mild climate. Like Toronto's obviously a great city, I'm not gonna say anything, but it's cold. Like it's very cold, and it's like not like the pressure's not the same as Toronto. It's not as cold as Toronto. But yeah, like it just seems like the vibes are off big time.
Yeah.
It's always heavy.
Yeah.
The feeling in a lot of times is heavy in Vancouver, and I get it in the Canadian market. I mean, if you look at Montreal and Toronto, you've got your original six, right?
Yeah.
Which is even more, which is kind of interesting. I'm assuming that your family was was it your dad or your mom or somebody was a big Toronto fan?
Yeah, my dad was a huge, almost.
Was your dad from Toronto?
He was from New Brunswick. And my mom's from New Brunswick too. And,
yes.
Like
that old chestnut.
it was like the guy was a psychopath with the Leafs, so like I had no choice. So I'm just I've always been crazy about the team, and like
I have another brother that liked the Edmonton Oilers that was dropped off at an orphanage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We've never seen him since. Anyway, if you're out there, Daryl.
Love you, Daryl.
That's awesome.
But yeah, no, I'm worried. Like, well, I've always been kind of pessimistic because I think when your dad's been, a Leaf fan and he went through the 80s, any Leaf fan with a dad that was a Leaf fan, you've heard about the 80s, that you know about Harold Ballard, and just there's a lot of pessimism within the fan base, and I think it was really tough to get that core and to not really go to like really have a sniff. Like, yeah, last year was Game 7 second round, which is great. But man, like to have that core and have that little winning and just kind of, they got good. They made the playoffs and they kind of flatlined for 9 years. And it's like, that's the most Leaf thing to happen, where it's like, they just don't take that next step.
I think the problem was that everything around them was so much better, right? Once they got to the playoffs, it was everything. You got this thing, and you just can't. You're like, oh, we're so good, but why is everything such much better around us? You know what?
Yeah.
I look at that stick over there. There's a Daryl Sittler. You brought it up earlier, Jeff. NHL record, 10-point game. Isn't it bizarre that they couldn't win a cup?
Yeah, like it is. Well, but there was a team just north of them. You might have heard of the Montreal Canadiens
In the 70s.
that weren't too bad.
Okay,
and then,
all right, yeah.
You know, and then you had Philly came in and they had kind of their thing, and then of course Boston. But
Still,
I know. You look at the players that have gone through Toronto, and now it's almost like this thing that's eating itself from the inside out. Unfortunately, because you're just waiting for the shoe to drop. Oh, what's going to go wrong? Maybe Marner being out of there will free them up a little bit, where they're like, some of the pressure, you know, you'd like to think might be off a little bit, but you don't know until you watch them play. And there's always expectation. There's expectation in every market. But when you go to fill your car up with gas in Vegas, you don't have, not always, I'm sure it happens to the guys once in a while, but or in Nashville or these other places, you don't have people coming up and talking to you about the game last night or honking their horn or coming over for an autograph like you will in Toronto, and you'll get it in Winnipeg, you'll get it in Vancouver. So, you know, and in Toronto, when things are going great, I imagine you never pay for a meal.
Yeah.
But
back in the 60s, must have been unreal.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But now,
that couldn't pay.
I
for a meal
mean,
back
you
then.
know, I mean, can you imagine when Marner goes back to Toronto and the kid was born and raised, loved the Leafs, played for him, and now when he goes back there, like he's probably got it circled on his calendar. Go, oh my God, I gotta go back.
I'll be yelling at my TV.
Do you think he's going to have like a disguise?
Maybe.
That's
He'll be wearing the Oasis bucket hat, just walking
Yeah,
around town.
like he'll have-
no one will
Is
ever
that Sharps
expect.
or Marner?
Yeah.
He does like prosthetics.
Like
Like
those guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, I know it's.
It doesn't even matter though if your team does suck. The better part of the year is when hockey is on.
I agree, and
Like that's what's great about hockey. You're
even
just-
even if your team sucks, like there's enough stuff going on. Like there'll be fights and good highlights,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
and it's like a dog chasing a car, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably will never know what it's like to witness a cup, but I know what it feels like to want them to do it, and I like that feeling kind of, and I like. Like my
know what
mom's
it's-
been watching Young and the Restless since like 1970 or whatever, since she was like 2 or whatever with her mom and grandma, and she's still watching it. And I kind of feel it's like the same shit, but pro sports.
really
Like it's
funny.
literally Young and the Restless. Like
really funny.
it's always interesting,
Yeah.
always
Yeah,
interesting,
she's into the
except their
characters.
music isn't as good in hockey.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no Victor Newman.
There is some drama though, but not as
yeah.
much as the Young and the Restless. But
Right?
if you think
Young and the breastless.
Yeah.
they,
I'm on fire.
you're
Killing it,
you should do it for a living.
right?
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
If the counting doesn't work out for you,
Counting.
that would be sick though. It would be sweet if it's just like, if you're here till Monday,
Yeah.
you should just go to work for me for one day.
Sure.
Just sit there
Have
and
you
just
ever
crack
seen
jokes.
Along Came
I'd
Polly? Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah.
When the guy takes over for him and
Yeah. You'd be unreal just in a big meeting, like
doing crowd work.
I
at
think
the
we
board.
doing
should
crowd work. Yeah.
What do you do here?
Yeah. I'm VP
What
of
are you about?
clinical operations.
Cool.
You should work at
Ever
the
shit
Tim
your
Hortons drive-through.
Oh, that'd
You
be
take me down a
unreal.
little further than being an accountant. You should work at a drive-through.
I was
just with a
comparing to
microphone.
Marc-Andre Fleury. Did you ever see when he worked at Krispy Kreme window in Vegas?
No,
It was one of the greatest things ever.
Oh, I bet.
That you could do the
How many
Bagg
people
Canadian
recognized
version of that. Oh, they started because they used to give out donuts the first year in Vegas. If you had a ticket, you got 12 free Krispy Kreme donuts. So and of course, Flour had like 5 or 6 shutouts right away.
Oh, if it was a shout out, they give you.
If it was a shutout, that you would get Krispy Kreme donuts if you took your
Jeez.
ticket in the next
way.
day. They had to shut her down after 1 year, but he worked the window. And then one time he went through to get his free Krispy Kreme donuts. So we should have you do the Canadian version, work Tim Hortons. See,
Right.
So that's really interesting. I wonder who pays for those donuts. If it's the Golden Knights or the Krispy Kreme, like
You would just work it into your marketing budget.
But who pays
don't know
for
that.
which marketing is it? The donut place or is it the?
I bet
hockey
you it's
team?
the donut place.
So it's part of the
Part of their marketing, for sure.
It was
and they would
huge.
go, okay, we're
What
gonna
do you
probably
think, Jeff?
There'd be people walking out with 4 dozen donuts.
What do you call them? Gia?
because Geoff,
It's like the British like.
Geoff.
Geoff,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Geoff,
that's what he is.
Jarples.
I have a question for you,
Okay.
Jeff. I wish I could ask Ian this, but he won't be able to tell me.
What's it like to play?
What was it like scoring like your first NHL goal?
I'll answer this.
And where was it? Like I don't
It's like,
know.
Did you see my set in Austin the other night?
Yeah, I do want to ask you about that too.
Yeah, we usually get into talking more about Lord Bagg's latest
Yeah, we'll
travails.
enjoy your time while
But-
we're in Terrace.
I know, yeah, exactly. I think I scored my first. It was against Kerry Taco when the Minnesota North Stars before Dallas from the left point in Joe Louis Arena, which was other than the Chicago
legendary.
Stadium, the greatest building. Well, Madison Square Garden speaks for itself, but the Chicago Stadium was the greatest building that ever played in. But Joe Louis was right there, so that was my first goal. Brent Ashton was one of the guys who played 998 games. Ash could never get his
Wow.
thousands game.
No,
But
part
Ash,
probably
of course,
sad.
anybody that's Canucks fan would know about Brent Ashton. And I think it was Adam Oates and Brent Ashton were assisted, but I know Ash was one of the guys on it. So Kerry Taco, I think he was a Finn. So yeah, I don't know. It must have bounced off 3 guys to go in, but as far as I knew, I just blew it right by him, right?
Did you sally hard, or were you kind of just like
That
in
was
shock?
a little different back then,
Yeah.
right? You didn't kind of go to the bench and do
Yeah.
all the stuff they do now, which I don't know what you guys think of that. I'm kind of like, hey, that's good. Just go congratulate the guy, line up, let's play. But it's all part of the thing. They do it in junior.
you gotta do that.
Yeah, they just go grab the puck. Someone goes grabs
Yeah.
the puck for you, and they put it on a plaque. And
You got it. You must
oh
have,
yeah, I got it somewhere. It's
yeah.
probably
Somewhere.
it's
That's
probably
what
a
I
doorstop in our
somewhere.
house. Just
Yeah.
like most of my stuff ends up kind of collecting dust somewhere. But
He's got some good jerseys.
What's been the highlight for you in the last?
Yeah, well, tell us
Wow.
what was the first time you told the Caesar salad joke? Mike?
Oh, you guys actually, I got a better hockey story than Jeff. Let me tell you about the time I drank from the Stanley Cup.
Whoa!
Dana took me to the party because when
I
the
guess you've drank from it twice,
Yeah,
then.
I've drank from it twice. When our buddy Dana works for the Los Angeles Kings, and he got it, so we got to drink from it. But
Sick.
I didn't win it. I just drank from it. I was just a girl at a party drinking from the cup.
What did you drink from the cup? Just a Budweiser? or what?
It's so Terrace. It was Orange Crush and vodka.
Oh,
Like that's what they were drinking. I'm like,
Oh,
you
is that
guys
the
are
grass fields or
best.
something?
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
was-
crazy.
we're just in Frank's Field with a giant goal.
It's a Thunderbird grade
Yeah.
12 grad drink.
It was fantastic. But what were you saying? What was the best?
I was just curious, like, what's been going on because you're killing it. Like, at least online, it's like
at least in
Like,
in
that-
life. I'm
that
not
whole-
sure
that's so life.
I
haven't
can't see
started
what's
on
going
you.
on, but
They're-
man,
they're like, and what happened?
Yeah, things been good. Yeah. We things been good. I can't really say. Things are weird right now, but things have been really, really good. Like just the way the world's working and with ticket sales, you just kind of look at it and go, "Oh, that's interesting. How does that affect me?" Right? So but so far it's been good, and I don't know if it's just my timing and the price point of what I sell. So yeah.
what was it like being on Kill Tony?
The other night? Yeah, it was good.
You were on it the other night
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
'Cause I watched
that's my
it
second one.
months
Oh, you
ago.
watched that one? Was boring as hell. They
I
were
know.
so bad.
And honestly,
You're gonna like this weekend.
What you were doing, I thought was really good, but like they weren't.
Connecting
just-
with it?
yeah.
I know. I hated it.
Wasn't
you're
your
gonna
fault.
you're gonna like Mondays.
Oh, love it.
Yeah,
Like,
Monday's
that's all
coming
good
out.
for you.
I'm not
That's
saying there's a
sweet.
golden ticket, but there's a golden ticket.
Love it.
Yeah, it was really good. And
That's
then,
awesome.
And then I was on your mom's house the other day. I don't know if you listened to that podcast.
I've listened to it a few times
Yeah,
for sure. Only
yeah.
your stuff. I only listen to Ian Bagg stuff.
What's,
And you're on with the dollop too a while ago.
Yeah, the
Dollar
Boys.
Boys.
are
Big
good.
fan of the dollop.
Yeah.
Which one do you enjoy more out of the two?
Only listen.
Dave or
Dave or Gareth.
yeah.
I'm probably a Gareth guy, honestly.
Yeah,
His
I like Gareth a
his
lot.
little voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gareth makes
But-
me laugh, and I've done a bunch of things with him lately.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
There
you,
go.
I
He'll
feel like
be
you
happy
need to
about
have Dave because like just a Gareth would be too much for me.
it. Well, Dave's cranky old man, right?
Yeah.
So and
He, like, kind of
I've
reels him
known
in.
him since I lived in New York.
No way.
Yeah, Dave, and he's always been cranky. He finally he grew into his crankiness. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's just a young looking guy that was cranky. This doesn't make sense at all. Life seems good.
Like Gareth seems like the way he talks. I just imagine like a 3-foot tall like little elf.
That's really
man.
funny.
Yeah.
No, he's a tall guy, but he's just
Oh, yeah?
tiny little, like, he's one of those guys that grew up in England and lives in America, so he's a little
Oh
confused,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
I know. Yeah. They're wicked. That was super cool that you were on with them. Like
yeah, they're good guys. Yeah.
How about Tom Segura? How about
That's your mom's house. Yeah.
Is that your mom's house?
That
Okay, you
was the
see,
other
I
day.
just throwing a name out there and
I
not
was-
really paying attention
I
to
was
the podcast.
out. I was out in Texas 2 weeks ago and recorded a bunch of stuff. And Jeff was like, well, "All right, have fun." So,
Hey,
yeah, don't fuck it up, is what he said.
No, I
So-
just where's your new favorite spot to do comedy? Because the Comedy Store in
Comedy
LA
Store.
is in Hollywood's probably one of your
still great.
favorites, right?
Still fantastic.
But
yeah.
Comedy and Magic and Mimosa.
Comedy
so
Magic.
You're boring us with those because those
Yeah,
are great.
Those
But
are great.
New place.
A new place. I do enjoy going to Austin and doing the mothership. That's a lot of fun.
yeah.
But we've been doing some theaters. I'll be in a theater in next week in Atlanta, and then I'll be in one in Boston in November, and then in December I'll be in Seattle at one. So
Is it harder doing the theaters than the clubs with crowd work?
no, the thing is all the ticket sales are on me at a theater. It's nobody's walking into a theater by mistake.
Oh, okay,
Right.
gotcha.
So
Whereas
you
comedy
have,
club, you
yeah,
just go.
Yeah. Well, you still put in all your marketing, but there's also some people that just go into comedy
regulars.
club, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's going to theater just because they go to theater.
Yeah,
So
Gotcha.
and I'm doing in January, February. I'm doing a bunch of Canadian dates, so that'll be
Sick.
fun.
Awesome.
Yeah. Starting out in
awesome.
Nova Scotia. So
So
Are you going to
sick.
New Brunswick?
Moncton.
Come on.
No
There we
way.
go.
Oh,
Moncton.
let's go.
Yeah. And we're
Go
doing
to
Moncton.
Centerville, New Brunswick. You'll get 2 people at the Elks Lodge.
Yeah.
That's
Then a
my
free
nana.
meat draw.
My
Maybe
nana will come and
get your
yeah,
name in
there
for
I'd
you
the
go.
love to win a meat
Right?
draw. Just take meat away from the people.
Oh,
Thank you. I'll take the money and the
yeah.
meat.
Right? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So it'll be fun. Yeah. But thanks.
Happy for you. Is it kind of like because crowd work when you were doing it back, not to age you, but you've been doing it for quite a while.
Yeah.
Is it like is
It's
it weird
different
to
right
see crowd work be such a thing now? And
Well,
you've been doing it for so
I don't know
long.
if it's such a thing. Like some guys, like the weird part is when people come up to me and they say, "I want to do comedy, but I want to do crowd work." That's not how I started. Like
Yeah.
crowd work is just a piece of doing comedy, right?
Yeah.
So when they talk about it, you're just like, no, just do comedy. If you're funny,
Yeah.
you'll figure
Yeah.
it out, and then you'll find what your strength is. Like, is it is it less, crowd work, or is it more crowd work, or what do you play with puppets? You'll figure it out, but just, do comedy. So, but it's been interesting the last couple of years with Matt Rife, and that reason is he's good looking, right?
Yeah,
He's
he was
really
Jeff in
good looking, right?
82.
Yeah.
Early 2000s. Come on.
Yeah. Sorry, Jeff.
Don't take me down that far.
Yeah.
2000.
He uglied out at 89.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
But when people are successful and good looking, people like to ignore the fact that he still had to put in the work, right?
Yeah.
There's a ton of good looking people out there, but they don't just they may get some things, but you don't just get a career.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
got to
still
be funny.
waiting.
So yeah, you're dealing with it for quite
We're
well.
trying hard.
Just sitting on a couch looking beautiful,
Right?
waiting for the money to roll in.
Yeah. We're
I
making
love it.
nothing.
We haven't talked about
We're
your
having
career.
fun.
We talked about his.
But what?
We talked about your career doing the old accounting, but we haven't talked about your.
I'm the maid here.
You're the maid. That's
Yeah.
it. That's all you do.
This is actually my bed.
Yeah. Curls
Yeah,
up.
I curl up. Yeah.
I've never seen anybody have a single couch before.
My bed is actually it's a cut couch.
Yeah.
Oh my god. It's a cat bed. My bed is a cat bed. Guys, thanks for letting us come down and
Oh, no,
bore
It's
your
an
studio.
absolute honor.
And we love that you got the thing going on here in Terrace. It's really cool. So congratulations.
Yeah.
Such a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, and I just you did lock the car, correct?
Yeah, don't worry.
Okay, good.
We'll find out.
I've got my dog out there in the backyard.
I know when we came up, I thought, well, one of us might not make it to the front door because that dog looks pretty big and pretty mean.
Yeah.
So we were going to find out who could run faster.
That's really funny. Yeah. There's 2 chairs sitting right beside it too. I go, that's why we're doing the podcast. Right beside the dog, looking
the
at
2
you.
chairs. I got to get rid of those chairs.
We went for a walk. My wife and my sister and her dog. The other day we went down to down by where Parkside was in the what is it, Howe Fisheries?
Yeah, Howe Creek.
Howe Creek. Well, we went up there. And my wife is there bears around here? And my sister goes, oh yeah. And she just stopped and turned around. And she came back. I'm like, that's gonna be fine. I said, you
Make a lot of noise.
I said, you don't have to be the fastest. You just can't be the slowest.
Exactly.
Right? That's when it comes to bears. You just can't be slowest.
Yeah.
So I always trip somebody.
Awesome.
That's how we do life. Thanks for listening, guys.
Hey,
Thank
thanks
you,
for
guys.
having
Thanks.
us
Leafs.
down the Graham Street boys.
We've started the 25,
Graham Park
26
Avenue
season.
boys.
The Graham Park Avenue
Yeah.
boys. Oh my God, I'd like to be the one with a shirt off. See you next week, boys.
Love to all.
Bye.
Love to all.